Hi guys, sorry. Unfortunately, my glasses glare, so I apologize for that. You can see me, oh, right there. You see me in my glasses. So that's a little frustrating. Anyways, hi, I'm Savannah, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are not new. That is really annoying, but you just got to deal with it, right? There's no getting around it. Yeah, I can put that down to avoid that one. Yeah, you're still just gonna, sorry. Anyways, it is September 5th, and I figured it's time to do my monthly Flosstube update. Flosstube everything kind of update. As you can see, I changed my hair color. It is weird. It's not... I got a box kit from Walmart. It was, you know what? I can't even pronounce it. It was a weird one. It's new and never seen it before. Anyways, the lady on the box, her hair was more of a gray, like a dark gray. It was called Smoky Steel or something like that. Anyways, mine actually looks blue. Purple in some lights. So it is what it is. I like it. I don't have a problem with it. I was done being blonde. I really was. I think I've been blonde for over a year. And I was done. I don't like being blonde in the fall and the winter because my face gets really red. So because of the cold. So anyways, not a big deal. But yeah. I have it up just because it's messy, and so it's just easier to have it up. Anyways, so I did... Oh, I didn't even pull that one out. Dang it. I'm trying to see what I worked on. I wanted to make sure I had everything, but I didn't get everything. Give me 1 second. Okay, I apologize. This is all I needed to grab. I just forgot. Anyways, I don't even know how to go about talking. I suck at talking. Alright, so the first thing I guess that you could say I worked on in August was I was still trying to work on the 100 Days of Hade challenge. So I was working on my Hyrule Light World map. So I don't have a color copy. I apologize. I think I say that every time. This is what it is, what it's going to look like afterwards, obviously in color. It's by Pixel Comfort. It's the Hyrule Light World map. Pixel Comfort on Etsy, sorry. It's from the Legend of Zelda game on Super Nintendo. It's one of my most favorite games, actually. So I wanted to do that. Anyway, so I worked on it for a while. It looks like I worked on it until... just the 11th. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong month. Just to the 11th of August. And even then, I skipped like 3 days on it just because I was starting to burn out on it. I need to stop doing sales and... you know, challenges, because I can never, like, as soon as it becomes a chore, it's not fun, and I can't work on it. Like, I prefer to get a page done before I put these away, but I'd worked on this for the whole month of July, and I still didn't get that page finished. I was just like, yeah, and it, like I said in my last video, I believe, the first page I ever did on this, when I started this last year, I finished the whole page in 12 days. Like, I should have been able to get this done quicker than 40 days, but no, it just became a chore, and so I got pretty close to finishing that page. Obviously, you can see I got that bit, a little bit left in here, and then just bits and pieces down there, and then the rest of the castle. Palace, I guess it's the palace. Anyway, so this is what I have so far on my map. There's one more page over here, which I will do after this page is finished. Just that way I can cut off the rest of this because it's folded like 50 million times over. This is 18 count Ada. I think it was called Oatmeal. So yeah, there's that. If you can hear my son, he's in the living room being a crazy man. Anyway, so there was that. Like I said, I gave up. And it's not a hate. It's, you know, I was doing it on my own just for fun, hoping I could get this done in 100 days, but that was a chore, and I'm not doing that. I will pick this back up when I feel like it. Oh, what did I work on next? What color is that? Oh, light gray? Sorry. Okay, so I picked up, oh, I don't have the pattern with me, but that's okay because this is finished. I had the Hey There Pumpkin pattern by Hands On Design. I believe I got the pattern from Kelly Ann. Anyway, so I stitched it up. Here it is. Oh, I stitched it on 16 count Ada. That, you know, coffee tea dyed. Because I have a big scrap of it, so I like to use it for just random things. Anyway, so I stitched this up in a couple days, and you can see I finished it. I wanted to get like a pedestal type thing, you know, focus. I think, but I couldn't find one that was landscape. Everything is like portrait, you know, up and down, not. So I think I was at Michael's looking for something, and I found this instead, which is, oh, focus. See, it's, yeah, just this. So I stained it, well, or used, what is that? I have a wood accelerator, like aged wood accelerator, kind of like a stain, but you don't wipe it off. I just paint it on, let it sit in the sun for a little while, and then it ages it within like 10 minutes, which is pretty cool. And then I had burlap ribbon, like that happened to be like just the right size, so I attached that. And then I didn't know, it just looked plain without anything else, you know, just this on top of the burlap. So I kind of wanted to find homespun in this color, but I couldn't find any at Joann's, so I found this flannel that is a teal plaid and just, you know, ripped that and ruffled it. What do you think? I like it. It sits on my TV stand in the living room for now. But yeah. Hey There Pumpkin, Hands On Design. I think I stitched it in like 5 or 6 days. I'm not gonna count exactly how many. So there's that. Put that over there. Sorry guys. What else did I work on? I guess I started the spooky string, but then I was able to finish it before the end of August because I wanted to get credit for it. I don't have the pattern with me because I already sent it off to someone else to stitch, but here it is. I just need to cut it out and get it finished. Isn't that cute? I just used whatever I had on hand. So here's my bag of, I know it looks like crap, but so I don't have very many fancy flosses, you know, just whatever I have here. And so I'll pick and choose whichever, you know, if I don't have the call for, I will pick and choose whichever looks similar or just use the DMC. And this is on a 32 count. Polka dot, whatever. Petite point. I got it from 123 Stitch. I'll need another piece because all the rest of it, I'll be able to fit 2 more strings on there, but I have three more to do. I mean, in my, you know, in my stash. So it's not all gonna fit. Anyways, there was that. That'll be probably the next thing I fully finish if I can get around to it. I'm so lazy. And then Leah had a tutor sal, which I wasn't, you know, like I just said, I don't want to do sals anymore, but I had this pattern already. And I wanted to at least get it started, so I have it. And it fit perfect. It is the glare. Oh, we're going to get a glare. It is the Ode to Mary needle roll. So Mary, Queen of Scots, Mary Stuart. She was the cousin to Queen Elizabeth I. And I really like her. Like when I was watching Reign on Netflix, like that's all about Mary, Queen of Scots. I really like that show. So I was lucky to get my hands on this. I think I got it from Stitch from Stash. But this is on Etsy. It's called The Dames of the Needle. I think if you just, you know, Google that, Dames of the Needle. Here's a website. You'll be able to get this. I think it was my favorites on Etsy. I don't know, but I liked it because it says, I mean, there's a whole story to it and everything that explains what each like little symbol is. Let's see here. I don't think it's in. No, these are the instructions for finishing. I have another. Oh, it's right here. Sorry. You know, it talks about where she was born, her father, who was King James V, and how she became a queen as an infant. And then it starts to explain, you know, her life, and such. So it says, let's see here. It says that this, I'll pull that out. Maybe that'll be better, right? I don't know. It's kind of glossy paper. It's nice. Focus. Okay, so right down here in this corner, you can't really tell, but that's Mary's cipher, which is like a signature. This line is supposed to represent Queen Elizabeth. Just trying to see. Yeah. Yes, it says the line on the needle roll represents Elizabeth I. The ship represents Mary's departure to England from Scotland to try to, oh my gosh. It doesn't, you know, without reading the whole thing to you, which is a whole page. I'm not going to read a whole page of information. She fled Scotland in like, you know, to try to be safe in England. The snail, the wildflower, and the fruit, which is, here's the snail. It's really hard to see. The wildflowers and the fruit. What fruit? Maybe this one's a fruit and not flowers. It says that represents Mary's sexual promiscuity. Ooh, I can say it, but I can't say it. Because they're saying that she was very promiscuous. There's the word. But who knows how true that was. I mean, granted, she was married 3 times. The hair is supposed to represent... Oh, the mermaid and the hare. The mermaid and the hare represent Bothwell and Mary. The hare is Bothwell's insignia, and the mermaid was a symbol of prostitution. So, you know, and then the dolphin is supposed to be for Francis II, whom she married, you know, her first husband, because he was called the Dauphin. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. There's a Tudor flower on this flag. Oh, this flag. Sorry, the white flag. This other flower is... You know what? I guess it doesn't really matter because I don't know. Oh, Lord Darnley. Her second husband. Anyways, and this is where you're supposed to put your, like, if you can make a cipher, but I don't know how to turn an S and an M into something fancy, so I'm just leaving mine blank. Anyways, let me show you what I got worked on. So it's going to be long and skinny. And this is as far as I got. I got her cipher finished. I don't think it's exactly how it's supposed to be, because they say you're supposed to couch the lines on it. But they look like squiggly lines on the pattern, so I was like, yeah, no. I mean, I know how to couch, I just didn't want to. And then there's the lion for Queen Elizabeth I. And then there, you know, the beach. And then there'll be the ocean. So yeah, it's really strange because... Where's it? Right here. It says you're supposed to stitch it on 32 count. When I count this, it says 30. Or I get a 30, so I'm not entirely sure if it's supposed to be a 28 count, and for some reason it just came up 30 every time I count, so I just said screw it. It says use 1 ply of thread for all stitches, which includes cross stitches over 1 and 2 threads and 10 stitch over 1 thread, which the lion is 10 stitch, the cipher is a mix of 10 and 1 over 1 stitches. Oh, focus. I'm trying to get good light. And then everything else these are 2 over 2, or, well, you know, over 2. But, I mean, when I started this, I didn't realize that everything was supposed to be 1 ply, but I think I would have hated that anyways. So I decided to do 2. You know, 2 over 2. The 10th stitch is 2 over 1. And then the over 1 crosses, those are 1 over 1, just because I don't want it that bulky. So yeah, it's gonna be a crazy pattern. Yeah, I think all those clouds, oh, why is it always unfocused? All those clouds are like 1 over 1. Yeah, luckily the sky's not stitched in, so there's that. So I just started that, just like I said, to start it, because I just wanted to at least get that in there, because hey, I love the tutors. I gotta put that away because I'm not gonna work on that. And then I decided to work on, or, you know, my Plague Doctor. I started this last November-ish, and that's the last time I worked on it. Just, you know. So this is, I think this is 28 count. I could be wrong. It's just, obviously you can see it's a scrap that I had of coffee tea dyed and baked fabric. Ooh, that really doesn't look so great there. Anyway, so I had all of this done, all of that, and then to about here. So I added this in, this half in, like this is the rest of the bottom page, and then this was another page, just this little section. And then instead of going all the way up the shoulder, I decided I'd do this. And granted, I'm doing it, and I'm like, yeah, I wonder if it's gonna match up, and it didn't. But it was easy enough to just correct right there, which does look a little silly now that I'm looking at it in the camera. But hopefully, like, overall, once everything's done, you won't even notice. I'm hoping it was just a miscount in this line, because I had been drinking, and not like a miscount over here or anywhere in here, because, did I say I'm doing this 1 over 1? Yeah, that's all 1 over 1 stitches. Because I just like having things little. And then I did find this at Hobby Lobby. It was unfinished. I just painted this with chalk paint because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with it yet. I thought about putting, like, trying to do a shiplap type of thing, getting little pieces of wood and distressing them, and, you know, and then gluing them on. But I thought this, if I can't find like an oval frame, like an ornate oval frame, this would fit right on there. Granted, again, it wouldn't be able to be, I don't think white would look good with it, but I think this was only $10 at Hobby Lobby. Granted, and then a 40% you know, 40% off or however much. It was Christmas, a Christmas craft thingy. So if you need something like this, go to Hobby Lobby, Christmas crafts, this thingy. So however much, you know, Christmas stuff is discounted right now. I think 40%. Anyways, so I doubt this is gonna get done. And like I said, I put, or I didn't say, but I've already put this down for now. So we'll see. I put all this stuff. Because I put that down because I wanted to work on my Lizzie Kate's Halloween rules. The Halloween rules. I just grabbed one of them out of the pack. I have the whole set minus... Oh, focus. I'll just keep talking till... Oh, there we go. I have the full set minus the buttons that come with it because I traded some sweet person on my Instagram for the Jingles series. So I have all that. It's gonna look like this when finished. So this is as far as I got so far. So not bad. It's lovely. It was nice because the color for Halloween I actually had in my stash. And this one is not supposed to be that color, but I had a color card called Harvest Moon, and that's like perfect. Like, why not use that? I think that what it was called for was, oh, it's called Whiskey by Weeks Dye Works, but I had Harvest Moon in the Gentle Art Sampler Threads, or Simply Shaker, whatever. It says Simply Shaker, the Gentle Arts. I don't know, did they change their name or something? I don't know. Anyway, so I was like, that's perfect. And then, you know, DMC. This is DMC. You know, what's funny is, looking at the pattern, I didn't realize that the tree branches created the W until after I had stitched it. I'm like, oh, I see now. Yeah, just, you know, one of those moments. So, I don't know how much more I'll stitch on this, because that's what I'm having ideas on something else I need to be working on, like a different whip that I have, but, you know, it's just like, I have all this other stuff. I want to get holiday stuff stitched, but my chatelaines have been calling me, because I keep seeing other people working on theirs, and I'm just like the one I have, they are working on theirs of the same pattern, and I'm just like, I haven't touched you all year. Like, I have not touched my mushroom and fern at all this year, 2018, and I'm like, I need to. So it's been calling me, but I'm just like, I also want my holiday stuff done. So it's been, don't know what to do. So, anyways, last stitchy thing. Yes, I think this is the last cross stitch thing that I have. So I'll show you it in pieces. Well, I'll try to show it all at once. It's not fully finished, but, you know, you'll get the idea, because, oh, let's back, oh, we'll just leave that up there. So my Jingles series, this thing is huge. So I had bought this really cute, like, fencing thing. It was like little skinny strips of wood, and then it had like sheet metal, just thin strips of sheet metal at the top and the bottom. I'm like, oh, that would be perfect for the Jingles, but I'm just like, I don't know if it's the right size. So I bought it home, and of course my Jingles is the exact same size. So there was going to be no way that I could put, like, it was the exact same size as this. There was no way I could have put this extra piece around it to frame it. So I'm like, crap, I'm going to have to build my own. So initially I thought I was going to have to go to, you know, Home Depot or Lowe's and buy fence posts, fencing. I don't know what they're actually called. And then just build my own, but those things are so long. So I was like, oh, I'm going to have to cut them and, you know, do all this extra work. which wouldn't have been a big deal. But then I was downstairs in my basement, which is nasty and gross. I hate it. But that's where our cat boxes are. And I'm cleaning the cat boxes, and I look over and I have this wood. Because this used to actually be a table that I built when we first moved into this house, and I had it behind our couch because I wasn't ready to have a coffee table with small children, you know, they're gonna bang their faces on it. So I had this wood, you know, we took the table out a couple of years ago, and well, not a couple of years ago, like probably a year and a half ago, because I did finally get a coffee table because the kids were bigger. So I had this down in the basement just sitting there like getting full of cobwebs and grossness, you know, near the cat boxes. And I'm like, this would be perfect. I just decided to trim off. I cut it to look like fence posts. And then I just, you know, had, you know, I was already pretty much everything I needed. I did have to trim it a little at the bottom because it was a little too long, but that wasn't a big deal. I just whipped out my jigsaw. And then this is that wood accelerator again. That's like my favorite thing in the whole world. I mean, because it's gray and it looks, and then, you know, I actually used the more rougher sides on the front. Like you can see, this is kind of the smoother stuff, the nicer stuff. I preferred this, how Chelsea and Priscilla say, old and crusty. I like this size. So the reason why it's not fully finished yet is because I do want to find a little bit of strip metal or somehow put, you know, metal strips on it so that I can magnetize my piece to it, because the Halloween rules is going to be the exact same size as this. So I'll be able to, you know, change it out for each holiday. I know, it's so big. And obviously it needs some flourish at the top and stuff like that. This is an extra piece of homespun that I had ripped and just tied in a bow, and I thought it looked cute up here. So I just stuck it there. So the way I finished this was just this foam core. I bought foam core from Hobby Lobby. Cut it to size. I wrapped it around. And then I laced it because I was having such... It was a struggle being long and skinny like this. Trying to get it, like, the top isn't perfectly straight. You know, it's not perfectly straight. But I tried my best. And then I used hot glue and did the rickrack to just give it a little bit extra. And then the homespun, I actually tore strips, and then instead of using a whole bunch, I just took the strips and, you know, you can see here, it wasn't long enough to go all the way around, but, oh, there it goes out of focus. You know, I kind of just sandwiched it, hot glued it down, so yes, I do get folds at the top and the bottom. Oh my gosh, camera. There's folds right here. But I figured, you know what, that's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. I didn't want to waste, like, I didn't want this whole piece to be covered in homespun and then you wouldn't be able to see it. I want to save that homespun for other projects, you know? Trying to be cheap. Anyway, so there's that. I will get that finished eventually. But yeah, that was my biggest finish so far. I haven't finished a lot, or I mean, I have a lot of projects done, and I used to be the kind of person who was like, okay, you got it done, you need to finish it, you know, fully finish it now, frame it, do whatever you're gonna do. I haven't done that in a long time. Like, I'm now just clipping them to, you know, pants hangers thingies, and then just sticking it in the closet. Like, I'm cheap. I crocheted this pumpkin. It's a lot bigger than I had wanted, or at least initially had anticipated, but I like it. It could use some more stuffing, but you know, trial and error. You see, this pattern is really actually quite easy to follow. If you want the link, let me know, and I'll comment it below, or put it in the description if you would like it. It's easy. If you know how to color change with crocheting, and then the rest of it's just double crochet. So that hot glued a little stick. This sits on my buffet out in the dining room. It's a little decor. And then lastly, I guess we'll just show my diamond painting real quick. I don't know if I showed you my other one, but I'm not going to go get it off the wall. So this is the one that I'm working on right now. It's big. It is a 60 by 50, and it has 50 colors. I had it custom made. So I'll zoom up. This is as far as I've gotten so far. Oh, well, you know, it comes up a little bit more. Need to, here, you know what, I'll just cut that piece off because I don't need that. There, that'll look better. That way we can see it. This thing's huge, and I feel like I'm so far behind because well, not behind, but I just feel like I should be so much further along. I have missed, I think, 2 days of just, you know, working on this, but it is what it is. It is a labyrinth piece. Let's see, can I show you the picture? Yep. I put tape to cover up the stickies and it kind of went over. But yeah, I'd initially wanted to have this converted into a cross stitch piece, but I was a little overwhelmed with the thought of doing full coverage when I first found this picture, so I just kind of left it in like a folder on my computer of screenshots, and when diamond painting came around, I was like, oh, you know what? That would be amazing. So, yep. I have 2 more coming, 2 more customs that I ordered of like fan art, a Never Ending Story and a Harry Potter one. And those are going to be even bigger. So I'm like, what am I going to do with my life? Anyways, so that's it, crafty wise. I mean, I did make something else yesterday, but it's out on my porch. I don't want to bring it in. It's not a big deal. So yeah, that's about it. This video is already 32 minutes long. That's a long time. I need to stop and put everything away and get back to being lazy. I'll probably actually go diamond paint now. But yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I wish I could remember everything I ever want to talk about, but life is life. Turn on the camera, you forget everything, right? Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I will see you next month. Bye.